Hello, everyone. Avam here, and I'm welcoming you to another episode of In the Studio with Avam. Today, the episode is going to be my opinion about Ghostbusters 2016. I was just thinking about it, and somebody had asked, what you think about it, and that's one of the questions that seems to be posed to a lot of Ghostbuster enthusiasts. And I think I am finally in a place where I can give an opinion. In the beginning, when I saw it, I wasn't directly opposed to the idea. And then it just seemed so far off base that it did upset me for a moment. And I really didn't think about it for a long time. But then you would see the controversy, or quote unquote, I hate to use that, but the controversy that it was, and I just sat back and absorbed it and thought about it. And recently it came up again in a circle that I was discussing something with, and I didn't have anything to say then, but it sparked the thought again of what I think about it now, especially since the original franchise received 2 prior films and other properties since then. So I decided to revisit where I thought it fit in this, and does it fit? And die-hard Ghostbusters fans, I understand where these thoughts can go, but from one to another, I would say we have to accept it for what it is, and it's a good movie. The style was just much different than the writing style of Katie Dippold and Paul Feig is much different than Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd's writing style. And the comedy was different. And the ensemble was different. But the premise was what Ghostbusters is. And anybody can be a Ghostbuster. So I thought, this isn't a bad film. Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, they were great as a team. In this film, they were great. The jokes were different. A lot of things were different. Karen Sony played great role of Benny. Looking at the entire thing, you would say it couldn't be more different, but that's so wrong. The humor was different. The presentation was different. But that doesn't make it bad. It would be like saying Michael Keaton's Batman can't exist because Adam West was Batman in the 60s. And that would be ridiculous. Because if a franchise can grow in popularity due to different ideas within it, then that's awesome. And it's funny how we looked at it, when we were kids. The original 1984 film came out, and then the real Ghostbusters came out as a cartoon. And we didn't go, oh, this is terrible, because Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis and Bill Murray and Ernie Hudson didn't voice it. And that couldn't be further from the truth. And the great part about this, looking back on it, is I think that ensemble cast would have fit great in the context of where we are now with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And if you think about it, it works it would be beautiful to see it all come together. What an ensemble cast that would be. And I remember being originally upset that when Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, and Dan Aykroyd were in Ghostbusters 2016, the way they were, I said, wow, what a weird twist and what a waste of the talent is what I felt there. But maybe it was great that they didn't play the original roles, because I think the most iconic return for any Ghostbusters fan was in Ghostbusters Afterlife. And I'm glad that we didn't see that reunion prior to that moment. Say what you will. I like the way things lined up. Do I place the 2016 film in the timeline of the other events? I find it hard to put it somewhere because of how it would line up, because there's not really a mention of it in any way. So I would say no, it doesn't fit. But as a standalone property, growth upon that particular one wouldn't be wrong either. Because even if you talk about the cartoon, we had the real Ghostbusters, and everybody became very accustomed to that were Ghostbusters fans. And when Extreme Ghostbusters came out, nobody threw a fit there and said that didn't fit. There's plenty of room within any franchise for different branches to come off of it. And that's why I feel that Ghostbusters 2016 is a great film. It takes you back to when you were a kid. Maybe you had a favorite food or a specific food that you like to eat. But Mom's chicken tenders were the best chicken tenders that ever existed. Okay? When you were growing up, that's all you ever wanted. Mom's chicken tenders. Didn't matter how she made them. Microwave them the same as Mrs. Smith did. But your mom's chicken tenders were the best. Then you get older, and you move out, or you don't, or you just start buying your own chicken tenders, where you find a different brand that you like. And so you start using that brand. You still enjoy Mom's chicken tenders, but the new one is good too. The only difference between the Ghostbusters movies is 2016 is just a different brand of chicken tenders. This is Avam saying thanks for stopping by for today's episode, and I'll see you the next time we're on.